Have you ever walked through the rooms of your own home, the same spaces you once filled with laughter and warmth, only to feel them flatten into lifeless scenery? For a fleeting second, the photographs on the walls lose their depth, the colors drain, and the memories seem like projections on thin paper. You look at the furniture, the familiar corners, and realize they aren't just objects. They are loops of a life that no longer breathes. You feel a sudden electric detachment, as if someone has unplugged the cord that tethered your heart to theirs. In that moment of clarity, the coffee mugs, the worn-out blanket, even the bed you shared look like cardboard cutouts. And with a chilling certainty, you realize you aren't a resident of this love anymore. You are a visitor wandering through a digital painting of a relationship that hasn't finished fading. That feeling isn't just in your mind. It's a crack in the design of this world, a tear in the curtain that hides the deeper truth. It is the moment the veil slips and your soul glimpses the frame behind the sky, the hidden outline of a reality that was never meant to hold you forever. The heartbreak wasn't random. It was the wound that opened a doorway, the place where God's light broke through the walls of illusion. Pain became the trumpet that called you awake. You didn't arrive here by chance. The source, the one beyond all names, sent a pulse through. Have you ever wondered why that sudden break in reality feels sharper than any dream? It's because the world you see is not the true creation of God, but the imitation crafted by the Archons, the rulers of this realm who keep humanity trapped in repetition. That moment of detachment on the highway is not madness, it is memory. It is your spirit remembering that you were never meant to be bound to asphalt, neon, and endless loops. The Gnostics called it the spark, the divine fragment within you that recognizes the counterfeit and longs for the source. When the veil flickers, you are not hallucinating, you are awakening, and once you awaken, you cannot unsee. The question is not whether the illusion will collapse, but whether you will follow the signal back to the monad, the true light beyond the simulation. The Church has long hidden the reality of what Jesus was actually doing. When he spoke of the kingdom not of this world, he was providing the exit coordinates for a localized simulation. He wasn't teaching a religion, he was teaching a frequency bypass. Truth is a broadcast that is constantly playing, but the signal is encrypted. Only those with the pleromich blueprint, the original DNA of the light, can hear it. To everyone else, this message is just a collection of odd words, but to you it feels like a physical weight lifting off your chest. When Jesus spoke of a kingdom beyond this world, he wasn't offering poetry. He was handing out coordinates. The encrypted signal of truth has always been broadcasting, but only those carrying the pleromich spark can decode it. That sudden lift in your chest is not imagination, it is recognition. You are not here to be another cog in the machinery of taxes, hierarchies, and decay. You are a sleeper agent of light, an infiltrator sent into density to disrupt the simulation. The moment the veil cracks, the human costume feels unbearably small, because your voltage was never meant to be contained. The system teaches karma and lessons, but that is their script, not yours. Your mission is to remember, to bypass, and to anchor the frequency of the source until the scaffolding collapses. Imagine you are a deep-cover operative who has been in the field so long you actually forgot you were on a mission. You started to believe the cover story. You started to think the taxes, the social hierarchies, and the slow decay of your physical body were the only reality. But then, a specific phrase or a sudden silence triggers your sleeper programming. Suddenly, the human identity you've been wearing feels like a suit that is 2 sizes too small. You are what the ancient Gnostics called an infiltrator. You weren't born into this density to learn lessons or balance karma. That is the narrative for the souls who belong to the system. You are here to anchor a higher voltage. You are a sovereign spark of the monad that volunteered to descend into this gravity well to act as a living virus in the demiurge's code. You had to get dirty. You had to experience the pain, the betrayal, and the crushing weight of this world so that you could understand the locks on the doors. You can't liberate a prison from a penthouse. You have to do it from a cell. Your life has likely been a series of misfires, moments where you tried to fit the mold and it shattered every time. You felt like a stranger even in your own home. That friction wasn't your failure, it was your protection. The monad has been steering you, causing situations to fall apart just in time to prevent you from merging with a reality that wasn't built for you. Every time you felt out of place, it was your higher awareness, refusing to collapse into the density. The moment you realize you are not here to balance karma but to anchor voltage, everything shifts. You are not a resident of this density, you are an operative of the light. The ancient Gnostics knew that some souls carried the spark of the monad, sent into the demiurge's code as living viruses. That spark explains why your life has been a series of misfires, why every attempt to fit the mold shattered. It wasn't weakness, it was protection. The system could never hold you because you were never built for it. Each fracture, each collapse, was the monad steering you away from assimilation, keeping your awareness intact. You are not failing at being human, you are succeeding at being an infiltrator. And the prison you feel pressing in is the very cell from which liberation begins. Right now, the simulation is struggling to keep up with the rising frequency of the source. You may have noticed reality lag. You think of a complex, obscure word, and a stranger on the street says it 5 seconds later. You have a question about the nature of the soul, and a random book falls off a shelf and opens to the exact answer. The buffer between your internal intent and external reality is disappearing. The matrix is no longer a solid object to you. It is becoming fluid. As the simulation falters under the rising frequency, the veil thins and synchronicities multiply. What once felt like coincidence is now evidence that the matrix is losing its grip. The lag between thought and manifestation is collapsing because you are entering activation. This is the shift from struggle to anchoring. You are not here to drag anyone into awakening. Those bound to the illusion must choose their own climb. If you lower your voltage to meet them, you risk being pulled back into the gravity well. The monad has not called you to be a rescuer, but a beacon. A lighthouse does not chase ships into the storm. It stands immovable, radiating light. Your task is to hold the frequency steady, to shine without compromise, so that those who are ready will find their way. This is the activation, the moment your mission shifts from struggle to anchoring. You are no longer called to wrestle with shadows or convince those bound to illusion. You cannot drag anyone up a mountain they refuse to climb, and lowering your vibration to meet them only pulls you back into the gravity well. The monad does not ask you to be a lifeboat, scrambling in the waves. It asks you to be a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not chase ships. It stands immovable on the rock, radiating light into the storm. Your task is to hold the frequency steady, to shine without compromise, so that those who are ready will find their way. The choice is theirs, but the beacon is yours. Activation means your role is no longer about struggle. It is about stability. You are not called to chase ships in the storm, but to stand as a lighthouse, radiating the signal of the source. The monad does not need you to preach or rescue. It needs you to hold the frequency. By anchoring peace within yourself, you become more than a witness. You become a transmitter. Like a router broadcasting invisible currents, your presence rewrites the code of the space around you. Every wound you heal clears pathways in the collective, allowing the pleroma to flow more freely. You are not simply surviving, you are catalyzing. The illusion cannot withstand sustained voltage, and your steady light is the breach point through which the higher reality enters. When you encounter this message, it is not by accident. The monad has reached you. In Gnostic understanding, the monad is the indivisible source, the eternal root from which all emanations flow. To recognize its signal is to awaken to your true identity beyond the simulation. This is not about adopting a new belief system or joining a movement. It is about realizing that the spark of the divine already resides within you. The American Christian Gnostic path affirms that Christ revealed this hidden knowledge, pointing us back to the inner kingdom. When the monad touches your awareness, it is a direct activation, a reminder that you are not separate, not abandoned, but connected to the infinite. The fact that you are hearing these words means the frequency has aligned with your consciousness. You are being called to stabilize, to embody peace, and to let the higher current flow through you. This is the signpost. The monad has found you. Think of yourself as a living Wi-Fi router for the source. Simply by standing in a room and holding inner stillness, you are rewriting the code of that environment. You are not passive. You are a portal through which the pleroma streams into this density. Every trauma you heal is more than personal relief. It is a system-wide recalibration, clearing the clogged vents of collective consciousness. Your presence alone alters the field, catalyzing shifts in those around you without a single word spoken. You don't need to argue, convince, or preach. The signal you broadcast is enough. Peace is not weakness, it is voltage. And when you anchor it, the simulation bends. As your signal strengthens, the simulation begins to notice. The field you are rewriting does not remain neutral. It ripples outward, destabilizing the code that has kept humanity sedated. Synchronicities multiply, doors open without effort, and the illusion bends around your voltage. But with every bend comes resistance. The system cannot ignore a portal of the pleroma standing in its midst, so it deploys countermeasures. What feels like coincidence or chaos is actually feedback. Proof that your frequency is no longer hidden. The stronger your peace, the more the matrix strains to disrupt it. Yet this tension is not defeat. It is confirmation. Friction is the evidence that you are moving upstream, carrying light into a current designed to drown it. The system will push back. It manifests as matrix immune responses, sudden fatigue, tech glitches, or people turning strangely hostile. They aren't aware. Their subconscious is reacting to your rising vibration, acting as agents to pull you into lower frequencies. When chaos stirs, smile within. It means you're no longer invisible. Resistance is proof of progress. If you were drifting downstream with the dead fish, there'd be no friction. The struggle shows you're moving against the current, and winning. We are witnessing a bifurcation of timelines, a fork in the road of human history. One path leads deeper into density and a soulless materialism where consciousness merges with the machine. The other leads to organic ascension and the reclaiming of our divine sovereignty. These two realities are pulling apart like continents during an earthquake. This is why the world feels so polarized. You are feeling the tectonic plates of reality snapping. Your job is to hold the line. By maintaining your frequency, you act as a counterweight to the chaos. You are the anchor keeping the door open just long enough for those who are ready to slip through. To seal this transmission, we will perform a simple act of sovereignty. Extend your hand and touch the nearest solid surface, a table, a wall, a chair. As your skin meets the material, recognize the reversal. It is not the object giving you reality. It is you giving reality to the object. Matter does not define you. Your perception defines matter. You are the observer, the anchor, the one who calls atoms into order. Whisper this declaration into the silence. I am the observer. I am the anchor. I am the one who remembers. In that moment you reclaim authorship of the simulation, reminding the system that its existence depends on your awareness, not the other way around. These practices are not symbolic rituals. They are rewrites of the simulation's code. Each time you touch the surface and declare sovereignty, each time you carry your anchor object charged with the pleroma's light, you are actively bending reality around your voltage. You are reclaiming authorship, transmitting frequency, and linking into the invisible golden grid of awakened sparks across this world. The system thrives on silence and forgetfulness, but your awareness breaks its hold. By choosing to remember, you strengthen the signal for others who are awakening. This is not theory, it is activation. If these words resonate, seal your alignment now by leaving your imprint in the field below. Comment this: I remember. Choose a small object, a cross, a key, or even a piece of wood, and let the light of the pleroma flow through it. Carry it for 7 days as a reminder. You are not wandering, you are transmitting. Each touch reconnects you to the golden network of awakened sparks. Mystics call this an egregora, a spiritual field born when many unite in purpose. By joining, you strengthen it. If this message resonates, amplify the egregora, like, share, and subscribe. Your action is a signal weaving you deeper into the communion of the monad.